Steve Jobs, one of Apple's founders, is a genius and a great entrepreneur. Apple has three founders. Steve Paul Jobs was the chairman, chief executive officer, and the co-founder of Apple Inc., chairman and majority shareholders of Pixar, a member of Walt Disney Company board of directors following its acquisition of Pixar, and the founder, the chairman, the CEO of Next. Ronald Wayne was another co-founded Apple Computer, but he soon left the company. Stephen Gary Wozniak was another Apple co-founder. He and Jobs were widely recognized as pioneers of the personal computer revolution of the 1970s and 1980s. Timothy Donald Cook is the Chief Executive Officer of Apple Inc. and previously served as the company's Chief Operating Officer under its founder Steve Jobs. Sir Jonathan Paul Ive is currently the Chief Design Officer of Apple. Ive is the designer of many Apple hardware and software products. Next, we would like to introduce Apple's main business. In 1976, Wozniak designed and developed the Apple first computer and showed it to Jobs, who suggested that they sell it. Jobs, Wozniak, and Wayne founded Apple Computer. In 1996, Apple announced that it would buy tech for $427 million, and now it's called the Apple Inc. In 1980s, Jobs founded the spin-out of the Graphic Group, later renamed Pixar from the Lucasfilm Computer Graphic Division. Then about the location. Cupertino, California is where they founded Apple Inc., and now they do business around all over the world. As for why Jobs wanted to found Apple, company had computers but individuals didn't have personal computers. He thought, why don't do a print circuit board and sell it to them? Then, in order to start the business, they had to raise money. Jobs sold his Volkswagen and Woods sold his programmable Hewlett-Packard computer. They raised totally $1,250 to start producing Apple's first motherboard. Then we would like to introduce the major events of Apple. On April 1, 1976, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak founded Apple. In 1976, the Apple I computer was born, and the Apple II arrived 1 year later. On December 12, 1980, Apple went public, opening at $22 per share. In 1981, one of the co-founders, Wozniak, left the company and John Sculley from Pepsi took over in 1983. In 1984, the first Mac was unveiled. In 1985, the new CEO John pushed Jobs out of Apple. Jobs left the company and founded a new one called Next. However, in 1996, Apple purchased Next for $400 million. In 1997, Jobs became the CEO of Apple. In 1998, the first iMac debuted. In 2001, Apple's first retail store opened. During the same year, Apple and iTunes came to the market. In 2003, Jobs diagnosed with cancer. In 2005, Apple switched to Intel. In 2007, the first iPhone came out. In 2008, Apple Store opened for business. In 2009, Jobs received a liver transplant surgery. In 2010, Apple announced the iPad. During the same year, a Chinese company, Foxconn, one of Apple's suppliers, faced a series of suicides because of higher working pressure on laborers. Thus, this event brought Apple negative influence. In 2011, Jobs appointed Tim Cook as the next CEO. And in the same year, Steve Jobs died.